Hey guys, how's it going? It's Spikes. I'm back again with another Yu-Gi-Oh video. Today we're going to be doing a farming, and today we're going to be farming Arkana level 40. Now I've already done the duel, so I saved it as a replay, and it was the first duel because he's only been around for a couple of hours, and I've only had level 30s in the meantime. I've got up against him 3 times, so 2 level 30s and a level 40. But the wait is quite a bit. Anyway guys, I'm just going to go over the cards quickly. We've got the chosen one, which is a bit of a gamble card. Basically you choose 3 cards, 2 of them are like spell trap and then the other one's a monster. If your opponent chooses the monster, you can then special summon it. So I wouldn't really use this. We've seen this in the past. This is a card I believe you either get from Yugi or Pegasus. I forget which one it is, but you get from one of them. This card though is an amazing card. This card you're probably going to want to be going for. It's anti-magic arrows at the start of the battle phase for the rest of the turn. After this card resolves, spell trap cards and their effects cannot be activated. Cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this card's activation. This could be really good for PvP and also really good for farming as well. So this is definitely a card to get, and I'll show you in a minute, but it's actually really easy to get, which is really great. I'm happy that everyone basically will have a chance to be able to get this card. And then we've got this card as well, Dark Eradicator Warlock, which is really good. If you manage to summon it, which is the bit there, trying to summon it is quite hard, but when you do manage to summon it, every time a spell card is used or normal spell card, it does 1000 damage to your opponent, so that could really destroy. We've got a few returning cards, and then we get this card over here, which is really cool. It's an ultra rare, and it's just a different version of the Dark Magician, so just different look. We've already got 2, so I definitely want to add this to my collection, so you can just summon all 3. That'd be amazing. And then we've got this card as well, Medical Servant, which isn't that good to be honest. I wouldn't really use it, but yeah, so it's not bad. Freeze free. Anyway, there are some more cards, but I can't actually show you them because he's not on the field for me at the moment. So I will move on to the dual replay, and I'm using the deck that you can see on the side, which is a Unhappy Girl variant, and I'll explain as I go. So dual replays. Obviously the main thing that you want to be doing is getting Unhappy Girl into the field as quickly as possible, so that you can just stop his attacks. Now we've got a few things you have to worry about. He's got one card which destroys your monster if Dark Magician is on the field, which he does do, but like I said, this is the first duel, so I'm still trying to find things, figure things out, but he seems to, if you got face down, he'll destroy that instead of your Unhappy Girl, which is what he did. And he's also got that card that destroys your back row, so you have to be really careful. I'm using Enchanted Javelins just to try and gain some life points, because they won't attack in if you have too much life points. So that's something you want to do. I didn't draw Unhappy Girl on the first time, but we've got Raimei, and we want to use Raimei to be able to draw. Luckily, I was starting first, so this gave me a good chance of getting Raimei, because if we were starting second, this hand wouldn't be that great. We have got Enchanted Javelin, so I think you still have a chance of pulling it off. In terms of consistency, how consistent is this deck? I'm not too sure. Like I said, first time I tried it, it worked. But I'm sure you could have bad draws. And if you use that card to destroy your Unhappy Girl and then destroy your back row and then attack in, you probably have lost. But anyway, he summoned Mr. Tomato to destroy my Raimei, attack into that. The one thing you want to make sure you're doing is attacking to each one. Now, one thing I want to say about this deck is the reason I made it is this is probably one of the easier decks to make. It has got Fiend Megazord, which is an ultra rare. So some people might look at that and think, that's quite hard to get on. But you don't need that. You can only use that because that gives you special summon points, which will allow you to get over 7,000 points. So you just summon Dark Magician, and now you can see that new animation for him. Unfortunately, I don't think we can use it, which would be bizarre, a bit bizarre, but unless we're able to get him in the future, maybe? I don't know, but yeah, that's the animation, is really cool. yeah, obviously everyone has a blue eye, so I stuck in the blue eyes white dragon with which is prismatic as well, so that'll give me 200 points as well. To replace the Fiend Mega Sub, I'd say maybe any summon card that's going to have the same amount of attack will do. That's not really an issue because you're going to gift to the martyr anyway. So as long as it's got a high enough attack, you can use any monster you want. Try to stick with one summon though. I have got double summon in here as well. It's just I find with double summon you've got more of a chance of actually getting that victory because things can go wrong and then you can't. If he destroys your unhappy girl or something, then you've got a chance of doing two summons at the end, which will allow you to then potentially at least win, if not get the 10,000 points. So double summon is a very useful card. The same with Econ, you can steal his monster at the end and then give to the martyr that onto your Piranha army. Obviously a card that you will need is Secret Pass and Piranha army for this method. So yeah, those are the main cards you're going to want. Basically, the whole thing is just about attacking into your opponent with Unhappy Girl to stop him from attacking into you. I know it can be really like you have to keep going every turn just to make sure that you've done it. It can take a little while as well, as you can see. This is probably taking about 10 minutes to do, but it's probably the best way to, or probably the most consistent way to do it, until someone else makes a deck that's possibly more consistent. He summons another Dark Magician, and he puts the Spark out. Now this is really useful because he basically blocks his own back row, which means we've got less chance of things happening. Now that I've got the, he's got nothing in his back row, I feel really safe. And he's got high chance of doing this. So if he summons both of them and puts both Bounce 1 onto his card, then you basically, and you've got Happy Go onto the field and he's used everything else, you've basically won. Now it's just going through the motions and trying to make sure you don't make any silly mistakes. I'm using Crystal Seer just to draw cards because he does have Jester and a few other cards which allow him to draw cards from his deck, which can put you behind. So having a Crystal Seer is obviously very, very important. Crystal Seer also allows you to make sure that you don't bottom deck certain cards like Blue Eyes. You do not want Blue Eyes at the bottom of your deck, otherwise that could potentially ruin things, especially if you haven't got things like Double Summon. So just keep that in mind. Crystal Seer is a great card to have. If you haven't got any Crystal Seer, you can just use any card that allows you to draw. And there's plenty of them. You should, hopefully, if you've been playing this a little while, you should have a few of those cards. So, as you can see, what you can do is you don't have to wait for your opponent to attack into your card. You can flip your own card and then attack into his card. Because you've got Holy Guard on, you don't take any damage, which is obviously very important. I used it to summon my Blue Eyes because I felt really safe. I've got one Unhappy Girl on the field still, and I wanted to do that because I don't want him to be able to attack in. He's got 3,200 attack, so we do not want that. I've got a few cards in my hand as well that I can get rid of, like Unhappy Girl or Rhyme if I don't need it. I'm trying to keep it in my hand at the moment, but it's not needed. This farming got me 7,000 points, above 7,000 points. It didn't give me 8,000. I did realize that I hadn't done my Fiend Mega Sub special summon, so that might have got me over 8,000 with enough glossy points, but I think realistically you're probably looking at about 7,000 points with this. Unit attack, which I'll probably make after this one when he decides to turn up, is probably going to be the best way to get above 10,000. You see, I used Enemy Control to steal his card, which at the time seemed like a good idea, but then I realized that I couldn't special summon my Fiend Mega Cyber. But that's fine because I still win. But I should just use Econ. The only reason I used Econ is because it's prismatic, gives me a few more points. But I just want to set, I should have just set his card and then I could have done the special summon there. And that's our win, guys. Really, really easy. If you've used Unhappy Girl farming before, you'll know what you're doing. But that's a deck that I'm using at the moment, and I will update it when, you know, we find out a little bit more about the character. But if you want to be able to farm Arcane at level 40, this is the way to do it. Level 30 is actually harder than level 40, so just keep that in mind. At the moment, I'm just gonna probably auto duel level 40 with a beatdown deck. But yeah, guys, if you found this helpful, just hit that like button, it'd be really appreciated. And if you want to see more content, subscribe, and I'll definitely bring you some more. Alright, guys, Spikes out.